Hello, how's everyone doing? This is Valkanes, and today I'm going to bring you a Dying Light 2 tempo anti-aliasing, so basically disabling your AA in Dying Light 2, and I'm going to show you a couple other tips to get your visuals popping and getting a little more juice out of it, and some other tricks with the FPS and with your refresh rate and some other little tweaks. So let's get right to it. So the first thing you need to do before you do the disable anti-aliasing, so to get rid of that TAA, so what you want to do first is make sure that your game is pretty much set up graphically however you want. So just go into your options. We're going to go to the video tab. And so here I'm running at 1440p. 4K will kill my 1080 Ti. So what we're going to do, as you can see at the very bottom, it says X for advanced video settings. So there's really no other settings in here to worry about. So we're going to go to X and pretty much set this all up. So this right now is the TAA on maximum. And I'm going to now do a comparison of it off. But one more thing I want to show you too. You can see global illumination quality. So this is all non-ray tracing. You can see I can't do anything more than high. There's actually an ultra setting and there's some other special things that we can do. So just keep that in mind for later. So GI only goes to high in the menu. We can actually set that to ultra and get a little more quality out of that and get it to pop even more. So again, set this up however you want. Here's your extra FOV. We can even go beyond that. Again, I'll show you that as well. But the main thing here, so set up your graphics however you want. We're good. We've got that done. So now we're going to save that. Okay. If I had actually changed anything, it would have said, would you like to save this? And say, okay. So now what we're going to do is just take a little peek here. So notice the ground. Okay. Especially this little spot here. Okay. Take a look at the logs, the little foliage down there. So you kind of see it's sort of got this really smooth kind of painted look, sort of almost like there's some Vaseline on the screen, as some people say who don't like TAA like myself. But you know, it's a very smooth look. Definitely, if you can't stand the jaggies in 3D, take that, you know, put that AA on. But for myself, I'm really against it. I love to see the shader quality and the textures pop. So for me, I always disable it. So again, here, let's just do a couple more spots. Okay, for comparison. All right. Look at the floor there. You know, you can kind of see your textures are kind of all smudged out. Okay. And one more spot here. And then your horizon. Okay. So that's pretty much good. So now let's go and disable that. And then we're going to do a comparison of before and after. So just a little more here. Okay. So let's get out of here. Go back to my spot. Okay. So now we just quit. So again, key thing, get your graphics looking however you want before you disable the TAA. Okay. Bear with me, quit. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, you're gonna wanna go to your documents folder, go to Dying Light 2, out, settings. So let's just go to that. So document folder, we go to Dying Light 2, out, settings. I'll put this all in the descriptions of the video. And so here, I'll just redo this. I always make a copy. So this video file here is the actual config file. So we just make a copy of that. And now we're just gonna go into Notepad. Use any text editor that you like, and we're just gonna pull that in. You could just go file open, but this is much easier. Okay, so here's the goods. This is all the settings for Dying Light 2. There's a lot you can do in here. So Windows mode, I'm going to show you something. Where is the Windows mode? So yeah, make sure this is on 2 for full screen. So the one we want to look at is right here. So anti-aliasing. As you can see, 0 is for disabled and 1 is for enabled. So if you just do a copy and a find on that, so that's the settings one. There's a typo, 1 is high. Anyway, so keep going. So as you can see, 1, it's on. So you just simply set that to 0 for disabled. So that turns off TAA. You will have 0A in the game, and you're going to get a little bit of a performance boost, very small, marginal. But of course, you're going to get very crisp shaders and textures, and it's going to be popping. It's going to look much better. Okay, so another one I just wanted to show you. So let's just do that again. So again, anti-aliasing, set it to 0. And of course, file, save. Make sure you save it, otherwise your changes won't be there. So now if I go back to what we remember to look at, the GI setting, where is it here? Ambient occlusion, nope. Wait for, where is it? Ah, there it is. Voxel GI quality, okay? So this is the GI in Dying Light 2, and if you can see here, there's a fourth setting for Ultra. So in the menu, so that's another one too. You can actually get a lot more performance if you set it to 0 to get off. So if someone's got a really low end GPU, you can actually turn GI completely off. That's not again in the menu. You can't do that. Or if you got a really nice GPU, you can set that to Ultra. Okay, so that's a really cool thing. That's a little extra settings. Same thing here. You have optional casting shadows off of spotlights. Okay, so that's another one. It's not on by default, so you just copy that and set it to 1. But the main one here is to look at, so GI quality for voxel GI, set that to Ultra, or if you got a really low-end graphics card, set it to 0 to disable that, and you can get a lot more juice out of it, your card, get those FPS up, or get your visuals up. So that's really cool. So let's just see here. Where is it? GI, voxel GI. So it's on 3 right now. I'm on high. So if I wanted to, we could juice it up. You would just literally go 4. And then to get more casted shadows, you would just simply go like that and turn it on to 1. So that one just have a 1. It has a 0 and 1. It doesn't have a scale as the GI. So that's all you would do, and we would just save that. So I'm not going to do that to have a fair comparison of what we did with turning off AA. So I'm going to put this back to 3. Again, we'll go back and do that later. But so that's some more extra stuff we can get there. Same here. This is a really interesting one. So frame rate, okay. You can see here it says no VSync is 0. 1 is basically the max refresh rate of your screen. So this is another thing to get a really stable image. Set that to 60 or 120, whatever you want to run your game at, the FPS. Set that manually, okay? It's always going to be set to 1 unless you disabled it. So I would just put here 60 or 120, whatever FPS you want. Don't leave it on the max. I think there's some issue there. It may be causing issues. And you know, especially if you have not such a great card, you want to set that to 60 to get your FPS at 60. Anyways, let's not do that right now to make sure the test is fair. So let's just bounce back out of there. Save. Okay, so we've done disabled AA. We've set it to 0. Again, the GI stuff, the voxel GI and those, we can do that later. So let's just check this out. So make sure you've saved it, and I'll actually show you one more little cool thing here. So if you ever wondered what ray tracing Dying Light 2 supports, as you can see, ambient occlusion, soft shadows, flashlight, global illumination, diffusion, and speckers. So it's really, really demanding on ray tracing. I know some sites and reviews and YouTube videos have been slamming it, but there's a reason why it's so brutal on those 3000 GPUs, the 3080s and 3090. It's actually got insane ray tracing implemented, so that is why. It's not just simple reflections. This is pretty hardcore, and again, The reflections, it's not even here. That's just a default thing that it has. But as you can see, it has the extras there, which normal games don't have. They usually just do the reflections or your shadows. Okay, and then also you notice here for render modes, there's DX11, 12, and Ultimate. So if you have a 3080, any of the 3000 cards, this one will be available in the options. If it's not, definitely set this manually. You would just go like this, copy it. We want to go to render mode. So you would just simply go like that. Ultimate, again, save it. And that'll ensure that you've got the ray tracing. Of course, my GPU doesn't support that. So I'm going to stick to, where is it? The DX12. And again, the DX12, that is in the menu, so is 11. But to get Ultimate to work, in case you don't see that, just come in here and manually set that. Okay, let's boot it up. Again, just to show you, AA is disabled. Okay. And let's go. It's an NVMe action. Get some fast loading here. Too bad I don't have the RAID 0 set up. I'm still going to do that. I had some personal issues to take care of, some personal life stuff, so I apologize. Those videos have been delayed. We're definitely getting on that. They're almost ready, so I promise to put those 2 videos up. Okay. And there we go. Any second. Boom, there you go. Okay, so let's go back here. So what's the first thing you're going to notice? So as you can see here, the quality is insanely better on your texture and shaders. So as you can see here, the shaders are popping, textures are popping. That looks really, really beautiful. So very clear foliage there on the ground, those little leaf ones. You can see that the textures on the actual boards look much better. Very crisp image. So even your grass, I actually like it very defined like that. It's not very smooth. Same here. You can see that you can actually see all the little foliage here. It's very much popping. It looks very clean. Let's go over here. That looks super clean. This tree actually has some, you can actually see the shader work now on the bark there. So that's nice. Very, very clean look. So I think it's a much more defined here. You can actually see the detail in their materials. It's just way, way, way better. So that's my personal preference. Again, if you're not into having the jaggies in your 3D and you don't want it to have it more defined and nice clear like that, then by all means turn on the temporal anti-aliasing. That's cool. But for me, especially for a high action game, I always like to turn AA off because you get a really nice crisp image. So there you go. That's all there is to it. So keep one thing in mind. When you disable the AA, don't go back in the game's options for the graphical settings. What'll happen, it'll revert that change that you did manually in the config file. So like I said, you know, once you've set your graphical settings, don't go back in there if you're disabling the TAA. Right, so now what I'm going to do is just show you a comparison of TAA off and on. I'm going to have a split screen, as you can see, and you're just going to see the differences. It's not completely synced up, but I'll kind of give you an idea of the difference between having it on and off and the differences in the shader and texture quality. So enjoy. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So I hope you enjoyed that video, and I will talk to you guys later, and I'll have some more videos being put up. So take it easy and have a good one. Enjoy the gaming. Take it easy. Bye.